What is up? What's going on, internet? What's going on, YouTube? I am the Masked Man. How is everybody doing today? Let me know in the comments. I am the Masked Man, if I didn't say that already. I am the Masked Man, and I'm here today for a viewer question. This is from the world famous nameless YouTuber. Now, this nigga or this bitch sends me questions that are so complex, that are so well thought out. I'm like, why aren't you doing videos? You smart as hell, and you sending me these questions like I'm capable of even grasping what you're saying. I do the best I can, but I'm not an expert. So, and I got another video coming right after this that I got to do for him or her. These questions are hard to answer, man. I don't want to look stupid on here. But but I can't run away. If they send me a question, I gotta answer it. But I got a question from the nameless YouTuber. The nameless YouTuber. Check him out. You can't find him because he's the nameless YouTuber. But I'm gonna get into his question. Give me a second to pull the email up, and we can get into it right now. Okay, the title of his email is a school environment the best system or structure for education? Hello, Mr. Masked Man. I'm back with another topic for you, and that is school the best educational system? Now, I want to clarify, because it is easy to find flaws in the public school system as well as today's universities. However, it is the solution to improve this system. However, is the solution to improve this system, or is the solution to replace the system with a superior one? Consider the classroom environment. Is that the best environment for learning? Consider test taking and exams, homework, lectures, individual and team projects, and all the elements that make up today's school system. Are they the most effective for learning? You have had teachers that experiment with different learning styles and techniques, including lessons taught by music, interactive technology, online learning, smaller classroom sizes, and corporate sponsored programs. There are people who believe in one-on-one learning, much like Mr. Miyagi and Danielson from Karate Kid, or art mentors and apprentices. There are parents who favor homeschooling and believe it shields their children from many of the obstacles presented in a school environment. There are those that philosophize about the different ways black people learn from white people or Asians. Do you believe there is a difference, and is this difference, if there is one, significant? What are your thoughts on a school as a system for learning, and if given the chance, would you establish a school, or would you seek to establish a different structure entirely? Why or why not? Finally, do you believe in a general education through high school, or do you believe more in tailoring an education for specific trades? Thanks. Hashtag the nameless YouTuber. It was a dash, but I like saying hashtag. Give me a second. Ain't like I got a lot of people watching these videos, so I can be real with y'all. Give me a drink of water from time to time. Okay. Basically, I'm just going to call him a he because I think it's a man. Basically, the nameless YouTuber, asked me, is it a good idea to have school? The short answer I have would be yes. It's just school should be better. School should be improved, because I don't feel that, because first of all, I don't know what the alternative to school would be. I guess it would be apprenticeships, but in an apprenticeship, I think school is a good idea because it standardizes the learning process. It makes sure that everybody has a core set of skills. Idealistically, it does. It makes sure that everybody has basic learning abilities so that they can all go into the world and be productive. That's what school is for. school or education or getting an education is for the purpose of being productive in life or being a productive citizen of a nation. That's what the school system is for you to be a productive citizen. So if the school system isn't making business owners, if they're not making productive people, then the school system is broken. And that's the only thing wrong with the school system. I don't find there to be anything wrong with the idea of people going to school and getting an education. They can't get it from their parents, not just their parents. Now, because parents know different things, parents have different skill levels, and they're not formally trained in educating people. You need to be trained in some sense on how to educate, because you need a core. You need to have a core competencies and be able to teach subjects well and completely and be able to answer questions. I think school needs to change, but I don't feel that school is a concept that we need to get rid of entirely, because again, I don't know how people would then be educated if there was no process of making sure that people had to participate. School, it socializes you for how to deal with other people. It gives you core competencies that lets you see the future, that how you will do in the business world. It lets you see social groups and how people click up with each other. You get to see the administration, how people of power use their power for or against you. All school is a phenomenal thing. It's just not used correctly. People are not taught and people are being miseducated. But I don't feel that school is a bad thing. But to give you a more concise thing, let's go back through your email and pick it apart and see if I can pull anything else out. Back with another topic. Consider the classroom. Is that the best environment for learning? I think you can have a virtual classroom. I don't think you necessarily need to be in a physical classroom, but I think it's good to be around other people your age and your grade level so you can learn and you can learn how to talk. Remember, in my school, if I had a school, communication would be the bedrock of what they taught. They should teach communication above all other things, because knowing how to build relationships and work with other people who have skills that you don't have is the best skill that you will ever learn in your life. And it's one that I'm working to develop every day since I learned that it was something important, and that was just recently. So school would be phenomenal for building relationships and learning how to talk to people. And you can do that virtually. You can do it. I just had a Google Hangout with a Vlog Easy, but I just prefer both ways. I prefer every way that you can learn how to communicate. Consider taking tests and exams, homework, lecture, individual and team projects, and all the elements that make up school today. Are they the most effective for learning? I don't know if they're the most effective, but you got to consider a school is supposed to simulate a business environment. It's supposed to give you a sense of how it's going to be in the business world. And if you're working for a business, you got test taking. You got to know your shit when you are asked a question from a customer or a supervisor or a peer. You got to know your shit, and that's test taking and exams. Homework, you got to do your homework. You gotta continuously learn that business, and you can't just come in with what you started out in 10 years ago. You gotta grow, you gotta evolve, you gotta learn more. If it's a low paying, low wage job, then maybe you don't. But if it's an executive position, then you always gotta do your homework, and you always gotta stay on top of your shit. Lectures, sometimes you're gonna have to give a lecture and you're gonna have to listen to a lecture, so you should know how to get something from it. Individual and team projects, if that ain't simulating business, I don't know what is. You're gonna have projects that you have to do for the company, projects that you're gonna have to do for your supervisor, projects that you're gonna have to do. Now, I know everybody wants to be a boss, but not everybody is going to be a boss. So And sometimes you can work for somebody who has a system that you believe in. You could want to be a part of something that you want to believe in. I have things that I want to be a part of because I believe in them, and I want to work for people. So they may give me a project to do, and I better do a good job because I don't want to get replaced with somebody else who can do it better. I want to do a good enough job so that they know that I'm giving an honest effort. And all the elements that make up schools today, are they the most effective for learning? Don't know. Um, you you have had teachers that experiment with different learning styles and techniques. Talk about music, smaller interactive technology, online learning, smaller classes, corporate responses. There are those who believe in one-on-one. One-on-one learning is great. It's great to have one-on-one learning. And you should have one-on-one learning for the people who need it and for the people who want it. You get a special feel, but you should learn. There should also be team learning, like a bunch of kids that get together that just teach each other, like they learn something on their own and then they present as a group. They just pick something that they're interested in, like a musical star or how to do a certain dance or whatever, and they just present it in front of people. They just learn it together. They work together. There should be one-on-one learning. There should be individual learning where you just learn by yourself. There should be team learning. You should learn how to learn from all different angles so you can be intelligent instead of being smart. Some people walk out of school being smart, but being smart doesn't make you intelligent. I strive to be intelligent. I don't feel that I'm intelligent enough, or else I wouldn't be broke right now. But I strive to be intelligent, not just smart. And smart is knowing how to use everything to your benefit. I mean, intelligent is knowing how to use everything to your benefit. Smart is just knowing a lot about a particular subject. There are parents who favor homeschooling. Homeschooling is still schooling. I don't know what they're going to do at home if they're not going to school. How exactly is a child supposed to learn if there's no school? I really don't understand this question. Like, what is the alternative to school? I mean, are you talking about a different version of school entirely? I don't get it. I don't get it. And I believe it shields them. I believe it shields their children from many of the obstacles presented from a school environment. There are those that philosophy. Do black people learn differently from other people? Now, I think it's a cultural thing that why we learn, like the type of language we use and the customs that we have. That because they said I've heard many times that the standardized test is racist. I've heard that many times. So I think it's because culturally they don't make things that we would normally understand, and they present things in another way. So standardized tests adversely affects us because they're deliberately making it to where we can't understand it. But I did okay. I had about average test scores on, on standardized tests. I did good enough to get by. But um yeah, I do think we learn different because we have different experiences. We have a different way of talking. And I believe it is significant. I believe that the differences in the way we learn should be accounted for and should be addressed. And something should be done about it. And people who are educators should educate themselves on the different ways that black people learn from everybody else. What are your thoughts on school as a system for learning? I think it's a good system for learning. I think it's failing, but I think it's a good system for learning because most people who come out of school come out with at least some skills. They can at least read, write, and do basic addition. Would you establish a school, or would you seek to establish a different structure entirely? Why or why not? I would establish a school. Hell, if I had the money, I'd help Dr. Umar Johnson fund his school. I want to see a school. I believe in school. I believe that school can work. I believe you need a whole lot more to it You need to put a whole lot more into it. But ultimately, I think that school is a great idea, and I don't think that it should be abandoned, and I don't think that it should be thrown to the side. I think it needs to be fixed, and it needs to be augmented with technology, and communication has got to become the foundation for what we teach in school, because how you communicate to and with others, and the relationships you build, in my opinion, is the most important thing in life, and I'm staking my reputation on it. I'm putting the Masked Man name on that fact, and I'm going to prove, and I'm trying to prove what I say is a fact. I'm a nigga that ain't got nothing, and I bet everything on that. Why or why not? Finally, do you believe general education through high school, or do you believe in tailoring specific trades? I believe in the boundless potential of a human being. So I believe that people should have the core skill of communication, and then they should be taught, social rules, and they should be taught reading, writing, math, history. And at a certain point, you should let them go their own way. You should let them kind of pick and choose how they educate themselves, in the ways that they want to educate themselves. And in whatever way they want to educate themselves, they get to teach the younger kids, what they are learning. They have to be like, I think by the 10th grade, students should have to become teachers, and they should have to teach like people at different grades. People at the college level, they should have to teach them. They should have to teach people at the lower. They should have to work as teachers for 2 years before they can graduate high school. Just teaching what they're teaching, just teaching others what they are learning themselves, what they like to learn, what they know about, and doing lectures and holding classes on it, being an expert and authority on something. I believe that would make them better than any other program and any other system that you can imagine. Well, that was my answer. I could go on, but I don't want to go on too long. Other people besides you have to watch the video, nameless YouTuber. Anyway, check me out. That's all I have to say about this video. Leave a comment about this topic. Leave a comment. Rate the video. Like it, dislike it. Be honest. Subscribe to my channel. If you want to know what I do all of this for, check out About a Woman. That's why I do this. I do it for a girl. What girl? Watch the video. If you want to send me a question, or you have a topic for a video, email me at TheMrMaskman@gmail.com. Follow me on Twitter, or find me on Facebook at TheMrMaskman. That is all that I have to say about this subject. So I will see you in the next video.